hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record podcast, episode 131. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm your host, Chris, as always, here in my studio, listening to music, doing album reviews, having you hang out with me, and also kind of doing these reviews, I guess, because you can also let me know your opinions on these albums, so that's fantastic. That's what the music commentary is all about. So if you like what you see and or hear today, I'm going to remind you to do one thing, a bunch of things, or all the things I'm about to list to show your support for the show. It's quick, free, and easy. And those things are as follows: like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, and follow. 6 quick, free, and easy things that you can do right now or at any point during the podcast to show your support. Means the world to me. Thank you very much. Truly appreciate it. Just go ahead, at least one of those things. Just at least one of those things, right? And of course, you can find the places to do all of those things over at ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. Streaming links, social media links, the RTR album chart, where you can see all the scores for every album that has been done for the show. And of course, there is the RTR Club, the optional financial way to support the show. It's optional, but the option is indeed yours. $3 a month will get you early access to episodes. Request an album for me to do here on the show. You'll get a shout out on social media and in one of the episodes closest to when you join. If you have a band who has a song that you want me to review, by all means, I'll be happy to do it. So if that sounds like something that you would like to take part of, check out the RTR Club found at ratetherecord.ca. Alrighty then, storming through that, we can finally talk a little bit more about today's album. And of course, for episode 131, I've chosen to go back to 1985 so we can take a look at Killing Joke and their album Nighttime. Now, Killing Joke is a band I've been really getting into, I would say, for the past 2 or 3 years for sure. I've been aware of them, but been getting more and more into them, so I figured it was about time I finally throw them in somewhere in the podcast. I think I wanted to do it last season, maybe even season 5, but they are here now. That's the important part, and I can't wait to actually dive into this album. Before we get to reviewing the songs, let me tell you a little bit more about the entire project as a whole. Nighttime is the 5th studio album by UK post-punk, goth, and industrial rock band Killing Joke. The album was released February 25th, 1985, and was recorded at Hansa Ton Studio in Berlin, Germany. It was originally released through former independent label EG Records, and then later through Polydor Records. It was produced by Chris Kimsey, who has worked as a producer and or engineer for many bands such as Peter Frampton, The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and more, and it was also produced by the band themselves. As of this specific release, the band consisted of Paul Raven on bass, Kevin Geordie Walker on guitar, and founding members Paul Ferguson on drums and vocals, and Jazz Coleman on vocals and keyboards. Nighttime was generally favorable across the board with scores such as 4.5 out of 5 by AllMusic, a 4 out of 5 by Music Hound Rock and Select, and a 9 out of 10 by the Encyclopedia of Popular Music. The album only appeared on 3 charts upon its release, hitting as high as number 8 in New Zealand and number 11 in the UK. The album has gone on to influence many future rock acts such as Foo Fighters, Metallica, Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, and many more. The album spawned 3 singles: 80s, which appeared at number 60 in the UK, Love Like Blood, which appeared on 8 charts, including number 5 and number 8 in the Netherlands, and number 6 in New Zealand, and Kings and Queens, which appeared at number 58 in the UK. I just want to jump in here real quick before the actual album review starts and just tell you that if you're watching the video version of this, and you see on the screen next to me here where Spotify is, there's far more than 17 songs, but good news, we're only doing the first 8, because 8 songs is the original release. Everything after that is literally like reissue bonus tracks, so it's only songs 1 through 8. We do not have a colossal library to go through like we did with The Fragile, for example, so by all means, it's a short and sweet record. Hope you're going to check it out. Back to the episode now. Alright, well there you go, a little bit more about the album just in case you didn't know, and yeah, at the point of me recording this a month ago it turned 40. Now I could have done an anniversary episode, but to be 100% honest, I hadn't even noticed, but hey, happy belated 40th anniversary to this particular album. It did pretty great with the critics who did review it. How much do I like it? I mean, I like the band, so how much do I like this album? Let's find out now by getting song by song and starting at number 1, Nighttime. Fading Out is song number 1, Nighttime, obviously the title track to the entire album. This track has something of like a darkish disco style of composition to it, and you actually get that in quite a few songs on this album. Because, I mean, you have that constant running hi-hat with that very four-on-the-floor style of drumming. But the thing is, like, I think that's what really helps keep this very catchy, very accessible. You can dance to it, you can have fun to it. I mean, if you know anything about post-punk, a lot of it has, like, it's not like heavy dancey, but I mean, it's still got like a good high energy moving quality about it. So hey, it's pretty cool. This is doing it very well here. I like this. And it's a great kind of quick energy to kick off the album. I mean, it's instantly fun. It gets you moving. I mean, like even if you're watching the in-betweens of the songs of like me listening, because I know I do some editing to cut out some of the time there, but I didn't stop moving once during that entire track. It's a lot of fun. And spoiler alert, it's going to happen a lot on this album. And speaking of things that happen a lot on this album, something I could say more than once across this entire project, but I'm going to try to just keep it here as a blanket statement, is just, it's great guitar work on this album, great writing overall. Like, cause like seriously, Geordie Walker, was a very creative writer, for what the band was going for at any given point on any given album. And it's great work all over this album too. We did unfortunately lose him in November 2023. I believe he passed away from a stroke, very unfortunately. But yeah, he was one of the more prominent like songwriters of the band, so it's kind of unfortunate to not have him moving forward. But he has a legacy of work behind him, and this album is definitely a tale of that as well, or at least part of that tale. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Great stuff. Rest in peace to Geordie. It's very unfortunate. I would really like to see Killing Joke live. It's just unfortunate that he will not be there if I ever get the opportunity to at this point. With that said, we will now move on to song number 2, Darkness Before Dawn. I was going to say Darkest, but no, Darkness Before Dawn. Hey, there you go. Song number 2, Darkness Before Dawn. This one still, again, has that very dancey quality about it. Spoiler alert, every song on this album does, as I think I've already said. But the heavier use of percussion in this song, I think was actually really nice. I really do enjoy that kind of thing. Specifically talking about that light tom work done through the verses. It even carries on a bit through the verses as well, too. It's low and thundery and just kind of like a mysterious feeling on a lively pace to the song, so I really do enjoy that. If you've been around the podcast long enough, you know I enjoy that kind of stuff, when the work on the tom drums and just like kind of auxiliary can really do a lot for the song instead of just necessarily focusing on cymbals or anything like that. And it's done really well here. I think it's really cool. I really do enjoy it. I love how noisy the choruses get, too. It matches well with those like more tense and like low-key flow of the verses, so it's a nice juxtaposition. It still keeps a lively pace all throughout, so it's just very equal all throughout, even though like one's noisier, one's quieter. But again, just that equal pacing all throughout. Just, you can feel the building of everything and then the lowering of everything. It's really nice, done very well. I really like the overall feeling and energy of this song altogether, but it definitely feels like it stretches on just like a little bit. I mean, we're talking a song that's like 5 minutes and 19 seconds. It feels like it didn't really have to be that long, but at the same time, I was still having fun, so I guess it fits. I guess it's okay. With that said, though, I'm actually kind of surprised that this song wasn't a single. Honestly shocked. It must have been in some way, shape, or form, I don't know, but it just didn't appear at the beginning. I didn't say this one was a single, right? Because I've already forgotten my own notes. Yeah, see, it wasn't. It's crazy. I would have thought that it was, but here we are. It's still a great song, though. Very catchy. Very much enjoy it. So, hey, hope you checked it out, too. Hope you like it. Want to know where I put it on my rating chart? Well, you're going to have to find out at the end of the episode, obviously, because now we have to move on to song number 3, a song that was actually a single, Love Like Blood. That fade out means I gotta pause the song now for song number 3, Love Like Blood. Man, what a fun track this one is all around. Like, there's a lot of great tracks on this album, spoiler alert, but I mean, like, Love Like Blood, I don't know, there's something about this one that just works the best for me. That dancing, thumpy bass throughout the entire track is a really nice treat to have. I really enjoyed the groove of it. The guitar and synth layers are like excellent complements to the atmosphere all around too, so it's just very pleasant on the ears. I really like everything this song has going for it. Great chorus too, super catchy, has an excellent vocal hook, so that's gonna pull you into, like, so much about the song will pull you in, and these are just small notes about it. And again, with that dancey, disco-esque groove of the drums, and it actually works wonders in the songs like this, so just fantastic job on that one. Fun groove, it matches up with the bass very nicely too, so you just gotta love it. And like, again, I know it maybe stretches on a bit, but honestly, I wasn't bothered by this one. And I know that they have a tendency to stretch songs too. Like, I'm a fan of Killing Joke, and I've heard many of their other albums, and some songs do feel like they go on for a very long time. Sometimes it can feel like a little much, but definitely Here I Say it works. I'm fine with the length. 6 minutes and 48 seconds being the longest song on the album. So yeah, there is that. But other than that, yeah, it still works. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. It's all good. So we're going to move on to song number 4 now, Kings and Queens. Hey, there you go. Song number 4, Kings and Queens. Kind of a bait and switch in like that, first 26 seconds or so? Because I mean, it starts with like a very ominous and hollow industrial drum pounding. No real rhythm to it, it feels very like dark and distant. So it's like, where are we going with this one? This feels different from the album already, but then, yeah, you have that very dreary atmosphere, but then suddenly that dance pacing picks like right back up. And it ultimately feels more upbeat in the end as well. Like, not that I actually didn't look at the lyrics for this one. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But the music feels more upbeat. So there you go. Like, just a weird change up there. I'm not certain it completely suits, but you know what? I like both parts that happen. The first 26 seconds and literally everything after that. I think it's great. And speaking of sounding great, we actually get a bit of pop bass in this song too. And I don't mean like pop styling. I mean like slap pop technique on the bass. There's definitely some quieter pop bass happening in the background, but I think it does a really nice job in helping the mix pop out a little bit. Sorry, no pun intended, I guess. Or maybe it was. Maybe I wrote that on purpose because I'm an idiot. I can't tell. Regardless, it does work in the mix. I do like it, even if it's quieter, but when you're paying attention, you can hear it, and it's actually kind of nice to have that little tiny bit of an accent in the background. And again, just like another instance of a song stretching on just a little bit, even though this one is shorter, one of the shorter ones on the album so far. And I'm just kind of looking at some of the other titles too. Yeah, there are a couple of other shorter songs on this one, but still, 4:34, it still felt like it stretched a bit. I don't know. Part of it felt like a little bit of filler between like the last few choruses, so maybe that could have been tightened up a little bit, but I'm still having fun at the very least, so I don't want to complain too much about it, but just thought I'd note that anyways. Still having fun though. That's all that matters. With that said, we'll move on to song number 5, Tabazan. That was just another fade out here, so that's where I pause it. Song number 5, Tabazan. Christ, the beginning of this song sounds like a sexual panic attack, if such a thing even exists. But that's exactly what I pulled from it. But then again, if you take even like the briefest of looks at the lyrics of this song, it starts to make sense. Very sexual in nature, so by all means, I guess it's there and fitting, but when you're fed that into your ears for like what 10 seconds, I think it was, it's like catches you a little off guard a bit. But I am liking that we have another track that's more reliant on the deep tom drum pounding. Again, I just really enjoy that kind of thing, especially when it's done well. I think it's done great here. Something about it just feels way more exciting when it's done, especially when it's done properly. So again, kudos to this song for pulling it off. And it doesn't really seem like there's a bad use of it anywhere on this album, even in like upcoming tracks that might happen. And I still think it sounds great. It sounds fantastic. They do a good job of just like really utilizing that, so it's fun. And there's fun guitar passages in this song, so there's also that to carry on with it. That quick pulse of like a kick drum beat, and even some of the strange and erratic vocal moments in this song. It makes it all pretty decent in the end. It's funny because going back to this one, I never really remembered this one, so going back to it was nice to hear again. And I will probably have to continue listening to it moving on forward. That's how much I liked it, and you'll find out just how much I liked it a little later on in the podcast. But first, we have to go to song number 6. There's only 3 songs left. It's a very short album. Yeah, by the way, only 8 songs. Well, I'm not doing 17. It's fine. Song number 6, Multitudes. On a very menacing synth fade out there. Just gonna stop it at song number 6, Multitudes. Stylistically, I feel like this song is a lot like Love Like Blood. I mean, it's a progression heavily dependent on like the groove patterns of like the bass and the drums. Then you have that wider accenting guitar. You have the airy synths, and it's all matched up pretty well in this one, so I'm not going to complain too much about any of that. Like, I still like it, still sounds great, even this far into the album. And I like that you get this bit of a disorienting change up in the bridge. It was really neat. Kind of like a dissonant and melting type of sound that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but it's nice to change it up a little bit. Like, the pacing kind of stops and then you're just kind of thrown into this like weird melty type of feeling. So cool that we're getting something a little different. It was very brief, but still very much welcome. And yeah, it's nearly a 5-minute song. This one actually didn't feel like 5 minutes, but I guess it was. Like, maybe something a little more hypnotic about this one. Maybe because it reminded me of Love Like Blood. I was expecting it to be longer, but I don't know. Maybe, it could be psychological. I have no idea. It's a decent enough track. Unfortunately, nothing entirely memorable really comes to this one outside of the few key things that I've already listed about it. But yeah, not a bad track by all means. Like, I do enjoy it, but just it's nothing that's gonna stand out to me further. And like, if I don't listen to this album again for like another year, for example, there's a lot of songs on this album I will remember. Multitudes might be one of the ones that kind of falls to the wayside a little bit, but that's just me. Anyways, we're getting close to the end, so we might as well keep trucking on here to song number 7. Did I just say trucking? What the hell is wrong with me? Song number 7, Europe. Triumphantly marching on as the song starts to fade. Song number 7, Europe. Now, not that there's very complex composition across the entire album, but this one feels pretty simplistic all around. I mean, it's very straightforward. You got those like chuggy rock verses and a very easygoing choruses and everything like that. As compared to the other songs on this album, this one feels like it's probably stripped back a little more in its sound. Like, it still very much feels like it's a part of this album, because on top of that, you still have these moments of like tension in some of the passages of the song. But yeah, just, I don't know. It feels a little more stripped back than some of the other songs do. So it has that. And, you know, I will say it's not necessarily a bad thing either, because I actually kind of like what this song has going for it. I think this song is at least a little more memorable in my eyes than some of the other ones on this album. And again, just kind of a very easy, singable kind of chorus. The chorus has to, it's important that the chorus is probably has something of a hook to it, especially with the themes of this particular track. And like, listen, I don't necessarily want to dive into politics at all. I don't do that on Rate the Record. I don't like to. No matter which side of the fucking fence you sit on, it's not something I like to dive into. But I will say the themes of this song in particular could hold very true to many different scenarios across the world, like at the point of recording this song. So, not recording the song, listening to the song, recording this episode. There you go. Like, they can still hold very, very true. I mean, it's essentially like terrible events and things like alike that are just raining hell, and it seems like almost nothing is being done about it. And it's like you really want something to be done about it. So yeah, like that's kind of the theme of what the song is holding. So I guess you can see where the song is coming from, right? Without diving into it any further, because I know it's going to cause a shitstorm one way or another, I'm going to leave it there and let you deal with the lyrics yourself. Just thought I'd point that out though, but because of the theme of the lyrics, I think it's very important to have a vocal hook, especially when it's saying like glory, glory, like that kind of stuff. Just very easy to catch on to and very triumphant in a way, or at least trying to be triumphant. Now we can move on to the final song on the album. Again, this album is only 8 songs long, so don't worry about the rest of the stuff here on Spotify that you see on the screen. It's the final track, number 8. Oh, how matching. 80s. And there goes the fade out to the final song, number 8, 80s. Probably one of their bigger hits for sure. I'm pretty sure across their entire catalog. Very energetic end to the album. It's a very, very catchy song. Extremely earwormy type of track, especially because the refrain of 80s is said multiple times. I probably should have counted it and just let that as a stat, because I've done that in previous episodes where it's like if a certain lyric is said a lot, I'll usually say, oh, it's been said this many times. Should have did it with this one. I didn't. If I feel like it in editing, I'll put it right here above my face on the screen. That's how many times it was said. But with all of that said, though, I think it's also kind of a marginal detriment since it feels way more repetitive than any other song on this entire album. Now, I get it. Like, Killing Joke has a lot of repetition in their music, obviously, but there's something about this one that just feels so much more over the top that it becomes kind of tiresome before too long. And maybe the first couple times you listen to this track, it's pretty good. Maybe you like it as you go on and everything like that. But I think the more you listen to this one, the more it just kind of starts nagging at you a little bit. Because it's like just super, super punchy and just like extremely repetitive with the refrain and just like the instrumentals and everything like that. Just, I don't know. It gets to me after a little while. I don't hate this song, but I will say that like, it's one of those ones I'm certainly tired of now, which is unfortunate because it's still a good song. I still like it. And again, it's another politically driven song as well. It's another one that you could probably find that hits very close to home in modern times. Again, not diving too far into politics at all, but again, if you just kind of go over what's in the lyrics, I'm sure you can kind of start pulling things out of that and understanding a little bit more. So, just another note before I finish off this one. In case you thought that this sounds a little familiar in a way, why, yes, it does. Because Nirvana, for example, may have borrowed the main riff to this song. Of course, I'm talking about the song Come As You Are. Very, very similar, obviously. But it's also possible that Killing Joke and Nirvana both borrowed from the Damned's 1982 song Life Goes On. Another one I actually really like too. I really like The Damned, and that's a really nice song too. And that's where that riff originated, on a bass guitar. So if you really want to do your homework and go backwards a little bit, listen to The Damned's Life Goes On from 1982, and you'll see where both of them may have gotten it from. There's no definitive 100% proof that anyone ripped off anybody else. They're insanely similar, obviously, but that's all you can really go on. There's no evidence that they strategically, like, yeah, we're going to rip that off. Why the hell not? You could say the same thing for the White Stripes and their song Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, which came out in, I think, 2001. You could say that they lifted the track Brain Stew by Green Day, released in 1995. Very similar, but different in its own way, but it's in the same vein. So you know what? You decide if it's a ripoff or not, because the courts won't. And I'm just going to leave it there because I thought it was a fun little note. But I remember the first time I heard the song, it's like, wait a minute. Sounds like Come As You Are. Wait a minute. That sounds like The Damned. Wait a minute. Just like a train of thought. But anyways, yeah. I am indeed done talking about Killing Joke and their album Nighttime. So that was a lot of fun. We've reviewed the songs now. It's a very fun album, very dancey album, very of its time, but I think it's kind of grown pretty well. A little repetitive, but as long as you're just kind of losing yourself into it, then it's really not that bad. And I mean, Killing Joke has a very vast catalog of many different styles of album too, so like, this isn't every other release, you know? Like, they change up quite a lot, so they're very exciting to listen to, and this just so happens to be one of the bigger albums in their catalog. So if this is your introduction to Killing Joke, it's a great album. I hope you had fun with it. You can get something completely different out of like their very first album. They have 2 self-titled albums, by the way. One of them from the 80s, one of them from the 2000s that was like a more metalish, almost, I don't want to say new metal album, but they were definitely inspired by that particular era. But regardless, I digress. I hope you can get into more Killing Joke. It's a lot of fun. With that said now, I'm actually going to take Spotify off the screen. It doesn't need to be there anymore because we're done reviewing the album, but what we do need are the numbers, because we have to rank the songs now. 8 through 1, again, only 8 songs. That's the best part about doing albums from like the 70s and 80s. They're so short that I barely have to do much work in editing, so I'm very happy about this. 8 through 1, least favorite to favorite, not so great to great, worst to best. However you want to cut that cake, good news, you don't have to cut that many slices because there's only 8 pieces that you have to divvy it into, which really should be kind of easy. With that said, I will give you my serving of the cake now by telling you my ranking of the songs. Number 8, 80s. That's a little blasphemous to some fans, especially in the goth rock genre and everything like that, but as I said, I'm just a little tired of it, unfortunately. Still a good song, a little tired of it. 7, Tabazan. 6, Multitudes. 5, Europe. 4, Kings and Queens. 3, Nighttime. 2, Darkness Before Dawn, which means Love Like Blood, of course, was going to be number 1. To me, the catchy song on the album, the best vocal hook, just the best overall feeling and progression of the song. It's the longest one on the album too, but as much as I was talking about songs stretching on, this one might even do that too, but there's just something about it that works so much better in my opinion. So Love Like Blood, of course, had to be number 1 on this list. So the numbers did their job. They can fade away. And fading in, rate the record. That's what it's time to do. It's time to rate the record. So you have my song rankings now. That's good to go. What did I think of this album overall? Obviously, I like it. I like Killing Joke a lot. This is one of their bigger projects. So what did I personally want to score this? Well, if you saw my song ranking scores, you'll know that it's roughly in the vicinity of, or exactly, 81.25%. So that is an A- album. There's only one other album that I saw at the point of making this episode that was 81.25, and that was also Drab Majesty's Modern Mirror, which is funny because then you take that kind of like dark wave, synthwave style of album, and then you compare it with this one, and like they can all kind of fit in like the same style that you're going for with like dark wave, goth rock kind of stuff. So it's just nice that they paired up together that nicely on the list. So there you go. We have an A- tier album. Thankfully, another breakup of the B tier albums have been stacking up in season 7. And that is all I have for you for this episode. So thank you very much for joining me today, hanging out and listening to this album. And if you did indeed listen to this album, please do me a big favor. Down below in the comments of wherever you're watching, doesn't really matter, there's comment sections everywhere. Tell me what you thought about this album. Did you like this album? Did you hate it? What do you think of Killing Joke? How would you rank it? How would you rate it? Do you agree or disagree with me? Anything of the sort about the album, please let me know down in the comments below. Very curious to see your opinion on it. You just heard me talk a lot about mine. I want to hear yours. That's how this whole thing works. And of course, you can find all the places to do those things over at ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. Streaming links, social media links, the RTR album chart, and of course, the RTR Club. All over there if you're curious to check out ratetherecord.ca. And of course, this album's going to appear there, and I just told you roughly where it'll be on that list, so go ahead, check it out. It should be there right now, I promise. And I guess that's all I have for this particular episode, so one more time, thank you very much for joining me. I will see you again next week for a brand new episode, so until then, go listen to some awesome music, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care, friends.